I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. This is your San Francisco 49ers post-game recap on Niners Radio. On Saturday, the day after Christmas, the 49ers continue on this second to last game of the season for your 2020 San Francisco 49ers down in the desert as the Niners got a big Christmas gift by the fourth-year man quarterback C.J. Beathard playing for the injured both Jimmy Garoppolo and Nick Mullins. Came through today in probably his best game in his 4 years with San Francisco. Niners defeating the Arizona Cardinals in a big upset as the Niners, who had been eliminated a week earlier, playing the role as how the Grinch stole Christmas. Well, the Grinch stole Christmas, the red and gold stole Christmas, I shall say, or paraphrase, down in the desert Saturday afternoon down in Glendale as your San Francisco 49ers trying to really salvage some pride for these last two games, defeating the Arizona Cardinals 20-12 as C.J. Beathard threw for 3 touchdowns, and then Jeff Wilson having a career day, 183 yards rushing on 22 carries, and he ended up having 204 total yards on offense. Another unsung here, filling in for the injured Raheem Mostert. So let's just hit the reset button, and it was like the Niners playing the role as Grinch. So in the first quarter, the Cardinals got on the board first with Mike Nugent, the veteran, 27-yard field goal. That put the Cardinals up 3-0. Then, right before the end of the quarter, Beathard connected with Wilson for a touchdown, a 21-yard touchdown. Extra points good. Niners took the lead 7-3. Then the second quarter, Nugent booted a 43-yard field goal. That made it a 7-6 game. And that stayed that way till the intermission. Then the third quarter, Gold boomed a 41-yard missed a 41-yard field goal, I should say, that ended his streak at 31 consecutive field goals. That ended. He went 0 for 3 in field goals for the day on Saturday. Then Beathard got the ball as he connected with Kyle Juszczyk for a touchdown. As the first time Juszczyk had 3 touchdowns in a game. The Niners went 7 plays, and they went 74 yards, 4 minutes and 3 seconds. 71 yards in 4 minutes and 3 seconds. Niners went ahead 14-6. Then the fourth quarter, Kenya Drake with a 1-yard touchdown run. They missed a 2-point conversion. The Niners still led by 2, 14-12. Then Beathard hit Juszczyk again for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Unfortunately, unfortunately, Robbie Gould missed the extra point. It was now 20-12. Niners lead by 8. Then Gould missed it, went 0 for 3 in the field goals, missed a 37-yard field goal as well. And then the Niners were able to get the ball. They were able to hold on and run out the clock. Niners end up winning it by a score of 20-12. Now let's get into some of the game stats for on Saturday. Niners 22 first downs to the Cardinals 20. Niners were 2 out of 9 on 3rd down efficiency. Cardinals 4 out of 16. Niners did not convert on a 4th down. The Cardinals were 4 out of 6 on 4th down conversions. 398 total yards for San Francisco to the Cardinals 350. The Niners almost gained 400 yards of total offense. In the passing, Cardinals 230 to San Francisco's 171. And then for the Niners, they had their big game of the year. They attacked the ground, 227 yards to the Cardinals, went a $120. 55 total plays to the Cardinals 80. Niners were 13 out of 22 of completion attempts. Cardinals 31 out of 50. Niners end up getting 1 turnover to the Cardinals 2. The time of possession, the Cardinals outgained them by 5 minutes, over 5 minutes, 32 minutes, 16 seconds to San Francisco, 244. As the Niners as a team also ran for 227 yards on the ground. So the final totals of the game. C.J. Beathard, 13 out of 22, 182 yards. He threw for a career-high 3 touchdowns. Jeff Wilson Jr., 22 carries, 183 yards. He ended up getting 204 yards total, averaging 8.8 yards. And then George Stone Cold Kittle activated prior this week back from injured reserve. He had a decent, not a bad day, 4 catches for 92 yards, regained some of his all-pro status. Kyle Juszczyk had a career-high 3 touchdown receptions in the contest. For the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, 31 out of 50 for 247 yards. He had another 8 carries for 75 yards. He led the Cardinals with 75 yards. He averaged 9.4 yards a carry for the game. 262 total yards on offense, averaging 6.7 yards. Kenya Drake, 18 carries for 45 yards, averaging 7.5 yards. Then Christian Kirk, 7 balls caught for 76 yards, averaging 10.9 yards. And then Keyshawn Johnson, the son of former NFL receiver Keyshawn Johnson, 2 catches for 50 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, the Niners defense held him to only 8 catches for 48 yards. And then the veteran future Hall of Famer Larry Fitzgerald, 6 catches for 28 yards. More importantly for Larry Fitzgerald, he caught another milestone. In fact, the Cardinals, both Murray and Drake, were the 5th different teammates to have at least 10 rushing touchdowns in a season. The last teammates to do that, only the 5th time that has ever happened in NFL history, D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart did for Carolina back in 2008. Also, the late Hall of Famer Paul Hornung did it with the Packers back in 1960. Also, Lydell Mitchell and Don McCauley for the Baltimore Colts, and Dante Culpepper did that with the Minnesota Vikings as well. And then as Larry Fitzgerald also caught his 256 consecutive game with at least a catch. Only Jerry Rice has caught more passes consecutively than any player in NFL or receiver in NFL history. He also became the 17th consecutive year, caught at least 50 catches for the 17th consecutive year, longer than any active streak in the NFL. He and Jerry Rice is the only receivers in NFL history that have catches for at least 50 or more for almost a 2-decade span. So, with the win, the Niners improved their record to 6-9. They go to 6-9 with the win. For the Arizona Cardinals, a devastating loss. They fall to 8-7, and with the Cardinals, they no longer control their fate for the final playoff spot in the NFC. The Cardinals will now have to win next Sunday. They will have to win and hope the Bears lose at least one of their final 2 games for them to make the playoffs. And anything less than that, the Cardinals will be headed home. And for the 49ers who are playing, maybe this is an opportunity for the Niners to play some of their best baseball, or football, I should say. Fred Warner had 8 tackles of the season and 1 forced fumble. He had a great day, knocked down a pass, and they had a great day today for the Niners defense. And then for C.J. Beathard, an emotional game, because the story was well illustrated last year around this time, dealing with the tragic death of his brother who essentially was murdered at a bar in Beathard's hometown in Nashville. And it was, a tough one last year. And for him to come out to have a big game like that was very, very important. Because, like we were saying, Beathard could be playing, who's an unrestricted free agent after this year, trying to win a job as a backup quarterback. And he took that first step with his performance on Saturday. And also, the Niners, of course, Jeff Wilson Jr. having another great day on the ground for your 49ers. So the Niners go to 6-9, Cardinals fall to 8-7. A reminder, 49ers fans, because the Niners, of course, scored 2 touchdowns in the game again, and that was courtesy by Kyle Juszczyk, 3 touchdown receptions. That means, Niner faithful, you get a free Jumbo Jack burger, free, with a purchase of your large drink the day after the game. You could go there tomorrow after you're done eating all the extra helpings, leftovers of your Christmas holiday meal. You could cap off the holiday weekend by getting your free Jumbo Jack burger with your large purchase of drink the day after the game. So visit your participating San Francisco and Bay Area participating Jack in the Box restaurants the day after the game. But this will be for all residents, 49er fans, residents in the greater San Francisco Bay Area only. Jack in the Box is the official proud sponsor of your San Francisco 49ers. And also 49ers, also presented by Pete's Coffee. Hey Niner fans, do you have a Pete's Coffee app? Download Pete's Coffee app today and use the code Niners. Get a free $5 in your first in-app order. Plus, get weekly exclusive Touchdown Tuesdays for the rest of the season. Pete's Coffee is a proud partner of your San Francisco 49ers. As a reminder, next game for your San Francisco 49ers will be 1 week from tomorrow as we're doing this taping on Sunday, January 3rd, 2021. That will be the final game of the 2020-2021 season, as this is the final weekend of what has been a horrendous 2020 season because of the pandemic and all what happened since March and beyond and throughout the 49ers organization. The season will finally come to an end next Sunday. The Niners will be back down in the desert for their regular season finale. Of course, you know they were not going to be allowed to play their last game up in Santa Clara because of the restrictions, because of the pandemic. They'll take on the Seattle Seahawks and hope to finish the 2020 campaign on a positive note. Next Sunday's game at 1:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The Seahawks could be playing for the NFC West title. We'll go on the air next Sunday at approximately 12:45 before kickoff right here in our ASN Bay Area studios in San Francisco. Niners and Seahawks next Sunday, January the 3rd, on the cap-off New Year's weekend. Kickoff time, 1:25. Game will be on Fox and on the Niners flagship station, KBR 680, 104.5 FM and 107.7 FM, The Bone. Greg Papa and Tim Ryan with the play-by-play in action. And also a reminder coming up, Niners Radio Live, the weekly show hosted by Brian Bauer and Dina Howard this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific on Niners Radio. We'll take a look back of this game on Saturday and look ahead at the Niners and Seahawks. The Niners trying to salvage some pride for to get some momentum for 2021. Latest news on 49ers and so much more, go to 49ers.com. That's it for now. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis at the ASN Bay Area Studios in San Francisco. Once again, the final score on Saturday. Niners defeat the Arizona Cardinals down in the desert. Niners 20 and the Cardinals 12. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis, and so long. You've been watching Niners Radio Post-Game Wrap, home of ASN Bay Area. And on behalf of the entire staff of the 49ers organization, the faithful, we wish you a very happy holidays and a happy new year. 49ers football, faithful of the Bay. Go Niners!